Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. Vader Games in the building. I hope the levels are good. Listen, guys and girls, we got another show. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to be consistent. I see those of you in the chat already. Thank you so very much. The comments, thank you so very much. The likes, thank you. Now, first things first, my peoples come first. My people, those that are here, no longer here, always thought of and remembered. I'm your humble host. I'm Vader Games. This is another episode of 115. One question, 15 minutes. And we got a good one. I hope you're ready to kind of sit back, hear what I got to say. And at the same time, I'm doing this in the middle of the workday. So apologies. I did not send this out in the GC. I did not send this out on Twitter. I did not send this out with regards to some of the DMs. Apologies. If you can be so kind, those of you in the chat right now, I don't know what device you're on. If you can be so kind, share this. Share this out, put it out there, be like, hey, Vader's live. If you can do so, much appreciated. Now, what I do every show, from the jump, I gotta show some love to those of you in the comments. And first in the building, no hesitation. Miami is in the building. He goes, big up, Vader. Listen, thank you so very much. We got a really good show today. I got my girl DC in the building as well. My girl DC. Listen, hello, Vader. Our fave, much appreciated. Our fave CIA Canadian in action. I like how you did that spin on it. It's not intelligent agendas. It's Canadian in action, and I'm in action right now. DC, I'm telling you, we are about to get into it. Letty, I see. Letty, good looking out. We back. You know what's happening right now. Hit the likes, like Letty's letting you know. I got Ack in the building. Big up as well. Now, Letty's reminding us, and I'm ready for the real housewives of the Liverpool fan base. Listen, I don't know if you know, and listen, shout out to Matt, part of the Team Copish, great channel, great content, Caribbean vibes as well between him, Callum, and Drifty, of course. Matt put on a show on his channel. It wasn't on Team Copish. All right, to give you a little bit of context, there's been a divide, right? The effectiveness of what I got going on over here, the effectiveness of CIA. You know, CIA are known to dismantle, take down, cause some conflicts. We've been effective with regards to the Liverpool fan base. We're seeing the results right now because there's a civil war. There's a problem having over there. All right. You see, and I don't quite know everyone's name on this, but you see the Captain America, that's Grizz Khan, Liverpool fan. I think many of you know him. The other one is Monts, a Liverpool fan. Many of you know them. And obviously you see the mix. Some key people in the mix as well. You got your Arne Ins and your Arne Outs. And funny enough, if you watch the show, it's a long one. You might have to skip a few parts. I got to take a pause. Because my gal's in the building. Rose is in the building. She goes, Vader, I'm loving the consistency. Look forward to an amazing show. Thank you so very much, and good morning to you as well. I'm sneaking it in. All right, I'm sneaking it in. Mike Dawes, talking about consistency. Mike Dawes is doing his thing over there. He's an op. He's over there talking Liverpool. Again, he's got a great setup. He's got monitors all over the place. He's got screen grabs. He gives detailed breakdowns with regards to Liverpool. He's telling me right now, for a man that loves his detail, he's saying, don't talk about my club. Listen, Mike, you got to get comfortable with this. When you're defending champs, you got the spotlight. You got the target on your back. Mike, when you spend like you did in the summer, you're going to have eyes on you. I know. You don't like it. The media darlings don't like this attention, but I got it. I got to talk about it, Mike. I got to. So you got to deal with this, all right? You got to deal with this. They're telling you got to hold it. You got to hold it. Now, the media darlings don't like this. They don't like the conversation. They don't like the attention. But at the same time, they say they're an institution. They say them and United or the clubs are what represent English football. Well, you're going to have all eyes on you. You're going to have this conversation. You got to deal with it. Now, the media darlings have this civil war. Grizz Khan, Mont, two Liverpool fans. All of them are Liverpool fans, but they're on opposite sides. If you don't know, in the chat. Sam, I see you. Good looking out. In the chat, if you don't know, in my opinion, wrongfully, let me tell you guys. Let me tell you guys real quick. I think wrongfully. I'm just out there looking at things, my take on football, my breakdown, and giving my point of view, my truth. And it is the truth, because with me being labeled as the gaslighter when I feature on some of these shows, and even when people tune into this content and be like, my number one gaslighter, thank you. I'm humble. Thank you for giving me that designation. But if what I was saying back then was gaslighting, right? How is it that these guys right here, right? Montz, Callum, Jamie, you have these Liverpool fans that are Liverpool fans that watch way more Liverpool than me. If they, and you know what? What am I doing? I gotta start the clock. Let me find it real quick. All right, we're starting it, and we're gonna do this properly. Vader game. Now, if what I was saying back then, just hear me out. If what I was saying back then was considered gaslighting, when I said it was a weak league last year, right? What Liverpool were able to do, I'm not taking anything away from them, but it was a weak league last year. We fell off tremendously. 1-13, 1-14. That's terrible depths, right? And then you had Arsenal. I know they've never won it before, but they weren't even in a position to really put that pressure on Liverpool. They weren't. They had opportunity after opportunity, but they were dropping points. They weren't there. I see you in the chat, and I'll get to you guys. Good looking out. Sam goes, LOL, I take the gaslighter tag as a banter. I do as well. It's said so often, but some, not all, some are very dismissive. They're very dismissive. Oh, here's Vader. We know he's going to be That's just the thing. They don't listen, right? They hear me, but they don't listen. Now, with what I had to say with regards to a weak league, with regards to Arsenal, City falling off, with regards to Liverpool being able to go on the run that they did, not being a true test, and not being a true representation of what the league's all about or how they earned it. All of them. I'm talking about that entire group of Avengers, right? All of the Avengers said, Vader, you're talking garbage. We're dismissing that. No, this is a great club. Salah did a madness. Look at what he was doing. He's in that form where he deserves this extended 2-year contract. Give him the big money. They were saying, look at Van Dijk. Nah, top season. No one wants to challenge him. His aura is auraing, right? Give these guys the contract. Trent can go. It doesn't matter. They won the league with Chiesa as their only signing, with a first-year manager. They were hyping everything. They were telling me how it was just on and upward. So when I say, y'all need to chill. Y'all won it. Can't take it out away from you, but you won it, and it was weak. Guess what I heard when I tuned in to this Liverpool Avenger gathering, right? The Arne Outers were telling me, were saying on show, the points that I was making. The Arne Outers were bringing up the points that I was making with regards to even how they closed out the season. And another thing is, I'm venting a little bit. Please hear me out. I'm venting. I really think that we need to kind of get to a state where there's a proper distinction between, listen, we're all riled up. We're going bar for bar. It's banter. We're going bar for bar. We're talking football. I think we need to kind of get to a point for that distinction. It's too blurred. Because all of the Liverpool fans, what they were doing with regards to talking about how great of a season it was, how great the players were, how great the manager was, how great the incoming players were. And I get it. You can be hype. You can be like, oh, this is going to be an amazing season. But when you put all the distinction in terms of why these players are so great, when you go through the list of 11 with regards to Liverpool, they wanted to talk about how good Van Dijk, how good Konate was, even though now we know the Konate drama. They wanted to talk about Gravenberch being elevated and taking his game up. They wanted to talk about world-class McAllister. They wanted to put all that in there. And then even Szoboszlai, he's going to be a better next season, or he was good under Slot. Slot had it worked out. And then when you talk about the attack and Salah being phenomenal, and now they're adding Ekitike, Isak, and Wirtz, like them talking crazy, I get it. But it's clear that they don't believe it. Here's the thing. They don't believe the hype. They don't believe the hype in the player and the manager, because if you have an Arne Slot out, if you have such a strong take after game week 11, and let me bring it back to y'all. It's now game week 11. I know I'm transitioning. If you're tuning in, you saw this is 115. You're seeing Vader. Why does Vader got the branding for the CIA? It's just the point, because I want to remind, after game week 11, look how reckless they're talking. But they were talking like this 2 weeks ago. When they were saying we need to see how Liverpool play against Aston Villa. They need to see how Liverpool play against Real Madrid. There were so many we need to see. Like the belief was gone. But my thing of emphasis is, if you believed in this manager being as great as he was, being the genius that he was, you can't be Arne Slot out. I can't be labeled a gaslighter back then for saying, you know what, he wasn't really tested. We don't really know how good he is. Now, based on everything you do on paper, why I'm going to say you guys are favorites to win the league is because of all of that. Favorites to win the league is very different from saying it's a lock. Favorites for winning the league doesn't mean that I don't think that my club is going to be doing something to make that difficult. Favorites of winning the league does, in my opinion, should not mean game week 11, game week 9, you got doubts about these players. You got doubts about the manager. That's all I'm saying. I love this Civil War. It's a long show. I'm going to be real with you. It's a long show. But what is evident is that the hype, the gas, the extra in terms of saying Liverpool do it the right way, Liverpool do it the best, even with regards to how they invested, they didn't believe it. And I'm here for it. Those of you in the chat, I am here for it. Now, who could have predicted that Isak would have joined Liverpool and not hit the ground running, suffer some injuries? No one's going to predict that. Who would have predicted that Wirtz would have arrived at Liverpool and not even register a Prem GA yet? No one. But the lack of belief, the Arne out talk, I'm all for it. I don't get it, but I'm all for it. If he's a genius manager, he needs some time to do it. I see Ack in the building. Ack goes, Vader, it should be the desperate. Ooh, that's a good one. The Desperate Housewives of Scousland. That's a good one. We might have to make this a series. Now, I'm working on another show. Again, I'm trying to be consistent and have different conversations. I want you guys to be able to tune in and see. You know what? I just noticed I'm not even full screen. My bad. Well, I don't know why that was like that. But I want to emphasize that I want to have the shows and them branding it away, right? If you see a colorway, you're like, I know that's 115. If you see the other colorway, oh, listen, I know the type of conversation we're going to have. It's CIA. Why always me? You know the topics we run into. But in this case, let me also remind you that there's another show that I got in the works. I think you're going to enjoy it. It's going to be a different perspective, and that way you can have a variety of what I happen to say on the show. Letty goes, Mike Dawes, LFC, did drop a like. Oh, he did. Quality dude. Everybody that pops in, for the most part, are all very generous to drop a like and even a comment. Good looking out. And again, my bad to not be posting this. And I'll do a little experiment. I'll see what kind of views I get when I do post. I'll see what kind of views I get when I don't post. See who's got notifications on, and we move from there. But I'm so appreciative. Now, Sam goes, nah, I wasn't impressed with their window when Hussam said he had his feet up after Isak. Sam, you weren't impressed, though? So from a position of strength, position of power, they just won the Prem. they went out and got, before getting Isak, right? Before getting Isak, they had already had Verts, they had already had Ekitike, and they had already did early business with Frank Pong and Kirkes. I think Isak was the last signing. To say you weren't impressed after that window, you were ahead. You were ahead of the curve. Football is played on the pitch. I 100% agree. Not in the transfer window. I 100% agree with that. I was surprised I wasn't as amped up with them being like, ooh, they're going to steamroll this league. It's not going to be a problem, because as much as they were ready for Trent to leave, all right? And again, don't let anyone twist what I'm saying here. I didn't have concerns, defensively they're going to be a problem because Trent left. We know Trent can defend. He's trash. He's gotten cooked all the time. But Trent leaving, and then their balance with regards to attack, how many times did we tune in? We saw him just pinging balls effortlessly, left foot, right foot. They were going to miss him. They were going to miss him, and they have missed him. My gal Rose goes, Vader, regarding Isak and Verts, the grass definitely... Rose, here's the thing, and I'll be honest with you. I got agendas right now. When players have options of coming to Manchester City, and obviously Isak wasn't an option to come to Manchester City because we got Holland, okay? We already had Marmoush. But when certain players say the only place I want to go is Liverpool, I got to make note of that. And I got to hammer them on it in terms of, okay, all right, that's where you decided to go. That's where you thought your best football would have been played. Okay. And even how he made his way out of Newcastle, it doesn't sit well with me. Sam, Cal and Mike are slot out. Mike is definitely slot out. Mike has been slot out for a really long time. And he's another one, and I'm not going to show him any mercy, because he was doing the whole, my club is doing amazing things. Look at what we're doing. When they were spending money, he was just moving way too cocky. Way too like, I've been there, I've done that, I know what's going on. Mike was doing too much. Cal's another one. And shout out to Team Coppish. Listen, love what they do channel wise, even though, they're ops, they're Liverpool, but the vibe, how they do their content, rate it. Cal moving crazy, slot out. Monts moving crazy, slot out. Lex, who does good work over there at Sarcasm City TV, is slot out. You know what I want to point out? And this is a thing. Let me bring it full circle real quick. And let me actually finish your comment. He goes, Cal and Mike are slot out, but at least they have logic behind it. But the slot in people are saying he won the league last year. Trust the process. That's too simple to say he won it last year. Trust the process. But they should be pointing out all the things he did last year to show that he could navigate and manage this out on why they have trust in him. Just to say he won it, I think it's a little too easy. But winning the Prem ain't easy, but it was easier last year. Winning the Prem's never easy. Well, whoever wins it, it's not easy. But it was easier last year. When look at who you're looking to compete with you, right? And I'm gonna get to the comments. I see y'all. I need to emphasize this. The state of football YouTube is in a tricky one. It's in a weird one, and I get it. I'm gonna say everyone, but not necessarily everyone. But people are out there chasing for views, chasing for likes. Okay, all have different approaches on how they do it. Ultimately, there's chasing, and then there's, here's what I want my content to be, right? Some people kind of flirt on that line, and they'll do whatever they need to do to get the views. Some, whatever, have a vision. I think we're in an interesting place with regards to football YouTube, because we have watch-alongs. Now, watch-alongs, in my opinion, you guys don't have to agree with this, and I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent, right? So bear with me. But watch-alongs is pure reaction, pure emotion. You're watching the game, whatever you may say, it's just like being in the stands, right? People are going to be extreme, right? Explicits are going to be said. Some things that are completely unfiltered, just reactionary in the moment, are going to be said. I get it. Watch-alongs, I myself will never hold anyone in terms of what they say from a watch along. Okay? You're reactionary. You're in the moment. Fine. Match reactions, I'm going to be a little critical. Match reactions, in my opinion, you need to be looking at things logically. You need to be looking at performance. You need to be looking at state of the game. You need to be looking at player decisions. I think holding someone to their match reaction should be held. It should be a sound mind, if you get what I'm saying. Sound mind match reactions. Now, when you got a couple days and you're now on panel shows, you're now doing features, you've had time to digest things. You've had time to be logical. You've had time to reassess and maybe being like, you know what, I was being a little too extreme during that match reaction. I was maybe a little too extreme. I definitely was too extreme during the match watch along. I get all that. But now when you got some time to pass, my emotions, I was emotional, that doesn't fly. That's not enough. That's not good enough. That's a cop-out. My emotions has now become a cop-out. Are you supposed to talk with anything in authority when you're emotional? No. So I've been seeing in football YouTube world too much of the I was emotional talk. I was in my feelings talk. That doesn't fly. Watch alongs, I'll give it to you. Maybe a match reaction if you're doing it like right after the game, I'll give that to you. But if you had some time to digest, that don't fly. Now, the Arne, I'm bringing it full circle. And I see the comments I'm gonna get to you. The Arne outers, right? There's Arne out, Arne in, Arne doubt, right? Husam's an Arne doubt. He's Arne doubt. He's like, it's a feeling. I gotta see how things go. I think he needs to see how many points get dropped or what the distance is between the title and Liverpool, right? But in my opinion, I think barring not finishing in Champions League because of how they spent, Arne should be cool. Arne should be chill. I might even argue if they got Europa, if they're still good enough to be in Europa, maybe a domestic final, I think it's still like, yeah, trust this manager for the next season. That's just me. But the Arne outers, okay? Particular few, right? I think the reason why they're Arne out, shout out to you guys in the comments, good looking out. I think the big reason why it's Arne out is because they're embarrassed. It's because they did the whole big talk. They were out there strutting, talking heavy, talking reckless, right? Saying that they were going to do this, winning back-to-back, feet up. They're saying how they're going to run away with things. Look at what they spent like Chelsea. They're going to dominate like what Chelsea did. They were moving like the Arne outers, in my opinion, with what I've seen, the reason why they're so adamant because of what they predicted that was going to happen on how they were going to be dominant, and it's not happening. They're putting the lack of domination, the lack of control of running away with this league, they're putting that strictly on the manager. So what is the best thing for them to deal with their embarrassment while they were, all out there, chest out? Arne out. Get Arne out. I'm embarrassed. I was telling everybody that I was going to win this league easily. I was telling everybody I just spent 450 mil on Isak Ekitike and Verts. I was getting the players that Real Madrid and City want. I got them. They're embarrassed. They're embarrassed. And to fix this embarrassment, get this manager out of here. Get this manager out that keeps reminding me of how bad my take was. The civil war is a real one. It's not going away. Because when you have those that are Arne in saying, I'm giving him till. You're giving Arne till. You're just waiting for the excuse. For the grown in the chat, with relationships, I'm gonna tell you right now, if the person you are dating happens to give you an ultimatum, just say it's not going to work out. Because no one's perfect. There's going to be a point where a mistake's going to happen, and what? Now the relationship's over. ultimatums don't work. They're giving Arnie till. Listen, if he's a genius, you don't give this man an ultimatum. If he's a genius, you say, got it wrong, let's go. Now, if it's a disaster, if you're falling out of Europe, right? If all that goes out the door, I hear you. But there's a reason why y'all were telling us that Arne Slot is that guy. Let me catch up on these comments. Good looking out, everybody. Sam also goes on to say, nah, I thought they didn't strengthen in areas they needed, like center back or mid. No, they did miss out on those. But again, if the mentality is also, we're going to outscore you, because they weren't leaking defensively. Trent's not a problem defensively, right? Their lack of defensive strength can't be not having an additional center back, right? And even with regards to a midfielder, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, and McAllister should be. Now I get you. Some of them have been injured, been inconsistent, but this fall off, Sam. I'm just saying. I hear you in terms of you didn't think that they were balanced in terms of they were going to run away with this league like they were saying, but you also obviously didn't see this type of fall off either. Ack in the building. I don't see any loser pool shirts in my city, Vader. I ain't seen it. I'm not seeing it either. But here's what's funny. I can say this. So there's a football store, sells all things football and obviously some kits, just off of Young, north of Lawrence. I live in Toronto. I happened to go in to look at a kit, look at the black kit, and there was a Liverpool fan. Funny enough, just running into him, got to the counter. He's like buying his thing in a sense, conversation like, what are you going to think of this season? The cashier, the person that runs the store is always asking, what do you think your club's going to do, blah, blah, blah. He buys the kit regardless. Regardless, he buys the kit. And he happened to say, we're running away with this league. He says, we're running away with this league. Look at how much we've invested. We happen to lose Trent. And he said, I think it's going to hurt us, but we're going to outscore teams. We're going to outscore teams because of that firepower. I was like, all right. But that was the majority of Liverpool fans. I don't see Liverpool kits like that either. I'm always going to see, an odd reason, I see a lot of Chelsea kits, and I don't know if that's because of what happened with the Club World Cup in terms of recency. I see Barca all the damn time. I see Real Madrid all the damn time. And in terms of circle of friends, it's Arsenal. Constantly seeing Arsenal kits. Pool needed squad depth more than Isak. I agree, Sam. I'm with you on that one, 100%. Ram in the building. He goes, hello, Vader. I'm a United fan from India. Yo, good looking out. Listen, I don't know how you stumbled upon. It's well appreciated. Thank you for the comment. I'm just trying to do my thing. This is one show that I have, 115, one question, 15 minutes, and I try to be nice and concise. Didn't mean to rhyme, but I did it this time. I'm nice with it, so continue to hit the like button and to listen to it. Ack also goes, Ram, hello, bro. Okay, good looking at everybody in the comments. Hussam reaction was mint, Vader. Hussam's reaction. I'm just saying. He's got a long international break. Ack, he's got a long international break. I'm just saying that right now. In the building, we got United K7 Civil War. LOL. That wasn't no war. Now there is a civil war, and United. I will be honest with you. They were all respectful, which was good to see. I'm gonna be real with you. It was more like United Nations, and they were discussing, they were negotiating, they were talking, they were going. It was peace talks, treaties. They were doing that, right? That was more of the show. It wasn't that like, yo, don't call me out. Don't tell me I should be representing the club this way or my view. It wasn't one of those, which is cool. I got no problem with it. Civil discourse is all good. But there is a division. And you know what we're going to be doing over here on Vader Games TV? CIA are going to make sure that we stoke that fire. CIA is going to make sure that we continue to put those stats, put those put those performances, put some of the things that have been said back into the atmosphere for them to consume, like some chemtrails. We're going to make sure that we put things out there for them to have to deal with. Now, each and every one of you in the chat is appreciated. I see my man OK in the building. Big up, Vader. Sam also, listen, I like how Sam's got the receipts right now. He goes, Errol was moving like Egal. Errol's fighting. And I kind of get it, because again, there's those that believe that this manager did do something special. And I get it. Winning the Prem in your first year isn't easy. Especially after following Jurgen Klopp, the legend that he was for Liverpool, especially when Jurgen Klopp wasn't able to get this Liverpool team in the mix to compete, right? In the mix to be into a title chase. They fell off early. So what Arne did shouldn't be discredited. Earl's fighting for that because he's like, there should be mad more credit in the bank. And I get all that. Let's do this real quick. I'm not going to put it on screen, but I do want to mention what's happening here. So when we look at Liverpool, they're all the way down at 8th. So they're 8th in the standings. I'm going to click on matches. And here's the funny thing, right? They have this international break, suffered a demolishing, right? We humbled them. The score was actually flattering, but the 3-0 is what they had to deal with, okay? They had the 3-0 after playing City. Now, next up, they got Nottingham Forest. Then they have PSV. Then they have West Ham. And then they have Sunderland, all right? Forest at home, winnable, okay? Forest have not been looking good. I know new manager and all that kind of stuff, but they haven't been looking good. PSV, that's Champions League. You can maybe judge how they play, but that's another home game, back-to-back home games. They go away to West Ham, okay, but West Ham haven't been looking good. We can be real about that. And then they got Sunderland. When they come back for international break, 2 wins on the bounce, everything's back, everything's kind of cozy. Then probably 3 wins on the bounce, because they should be winning versus West Ham. Sunderland got some questions. Leeds, possibly. Liverpool are just fine. And then when you look at the teams around them, there's no given that Chelsea are going to continue winning. Arsenal are going to continue winning. City. So them being manager out when they're really not out of the season like that is telling me they were telling us lies. They were telling us lies as it came down to the season last year. United reminding me, Liverpool fans ain't cocky no more. They should have learned from United and Chelsea. Overspending ain't the way. Overspending ain't the way. Spending isn't easy. Some of us, United, I hear you. K7, I hear you. We've made, right? You winning after spending. Chelsea winning after spending. City, we made it look easy. We made it look like spending. Yeah, spending brings results. That's not the formula. It's not spend, win. If it was spend, win, no disrespect, K7, you've been spending the past few years. It hasn't resulted in winning. They were reminded. I'm in agreement with you. At goes Vader. Kaz is such a G. He was loving every minute of Mont's raging. Pleasure in someone else's pain. Some people really enjoy it. Kaz was, yeah. I think did Kaz do a breakdown? He might have done a breakdown. Some are loving it. Some are loving it, and I get it. Cause especially when people move around disrespectful. All right, Liverpool fans, I'm sorry. If Mike Dawes is still in the chat, I'm sorry. Those of you that are in the chat, Team Coppish and all that kind of stuff. Guys, you won one legit Prem, but you were moving like you've been winning Prems like that. I get being excited. Okay, you just spent heavy after winning. But when you've seen the other clubs do it and how difficult it was, y'all were moving like it's a regular thing. And again, I'll bring it back. You guys are embarrassed. You're embarrassed, and that's why you want Slot out. That's why you guys want out. Sam goes, Pool fans are seeing they can win 6 in a row and get back in the. They can easily win their next 3-4 games when they get back from international break. 4-game win streak. Then what are you saying? Then what are you saying? Okay, Civil War after spending 500 mil in the league, winning team, 500 mil on a winning team, and they're game week 11 in a Civil War. Wild, absolute wild. I haven't looked, but hopefully the likes are up. Good looking out, please. And again, share this if you have a second, if you have a chance, put this in your GCs. Where's the quad? We ain't seeing that. They ain't. The talk's crazy. Ack also goes, Vader, these same fans were talking about doing a quad. Congratulations to Liverpool for doing a quad of losses. Facts. I'm loving the misery. It's deserving. It's a reminder. It's a reminder on how tough it is to win. Spending isn't winning. If it was, everybody would spend, everybody would win. It's great that so many clubs in the Prem can spend right now. It's great. Like, the spending is all up all across the board. Doesn't mean winning. Doesn't mean winning. So I'm all for it. I saw recently, I know not all of you are City fans in here, but I saw recently that there's a little bit of talk about Pep possibly leaving at the end of the season. I wouldn't put much into that. The only way Pep leaves is with a Prem. If we win a Prem, yeah, I'll entertain it. But until then, until it gets to that latter stage, I'm cool. He signed a 2-year contract. Ram goes, spending money doesn't lead to success. Seen with my team, United. Facts. That's why Pep is a genius. Always adapts his system to players. Yeah, and again, the Manchester City Pep myth that he's got to buy the best to win. Stop it. Ram, I respect that comment. I respect it. Pep is goated. No doubt. Reinventing all the time. Reinventing to the point where there's a portion of the Manchester City fan base are like, stop tinkering, Pep. Why? If it's not broke, don't fix it. Just keep running it. But the problem is, if you keep running it until it's figured out, then you don't have that next thing to execute. And I get it. I've done this myself. Listen, I'm a first name Vader, last name Games. All right, the Games isn't by accident. I do game. I've geeked out at times. Now, as the show grows, as we get to additional subscribers, I'll divulge. I'll share a little more in terms of like pre-YouTube. Why I have this perspective. What's helped me to get to this point. Why I see things the way I see it. Now, I will say this: high performance sport was my thing. I devoted a lot with regards to that. So I had some downtime. My downtime in terms of body, recovering, sometimes just physical fatigue. For me, it was gaming. I could lounge up, ice up, heat up. I could do all that while gaming. I geeked out with certain things, especially with some, I know I'm going off on a tangent, but they're called like real-time strategy games, right? You guys may know like the StarCrafts and the Dawn of Wars and games like that. For me, if I was doing something and I see the pattern on, okay, this works, I'm already thinking, okay, if I do this, here's how they could catch me with right? Because there's certain build orders, right? There's certain things. You got to know what you can do and adjust to it. I say all that because Pep tinkers like that. I think Pep has the game plan, here's a system, but if I run this again, or I saw this kind of patterns at times within the game, they could easily have a counter. They can easily absorb this type of attack and punish us. Pep is always tinkering, personnel-wise, tactic-wise. So I get it, and he's a GOAT for it. Like there's going to be a plus and a minus. There's going to be drawbacks to someone being that on all the time. That person that just eats, sleeps, breathes football, and at the point it's like, I got to change this. It's not efficient. Now, for a genius, and I don't say this lightly, I think there is that slight portion of obsession that Pep has, and probably a reason why he also maybe doesn't want to do this forever. Because for someone that is so into the game, I'm sure there's going to be some sacrifices, some things that you got to kind of put on the back burner life-wise. So it's all about balancing that. Let me see what else is saying out here. Okay goes, I was not able to watch A-listers this week. I hope you cooked Friday. You didn't catch it. I was able to cook. I was able to cook, and I try my best. Listen, okay, I feature on a few, and I'm managing my time as best as I can. I love the people that I work with, right? The people that I work with regards to shows and content. I'm a City fan. I love representing this club as best as I can. I have obviously my own style compared to others out there, and the same way I enjoy watching how my man True City Fan, when he's repping, do his thing. I love when I see my man Martin Mancunian Way out there doing his thing, and those that I don't interact that often with, but obviously know when it comes down to Daps, him representing LB, Big Steve. It's great that we all have our own distinct, unique approaches to it. And if I've missed anyone with regards to going out there and trying to cook, apologies. When we out there and we do our thing, it's just on how we choose to represent, right? Professor Hamza is another one with regards to, listen, we are just doing our share on how we feel we represent the club or how we want to banter back and forth, right? And I've enjoyed the cookings that I've watched. Professor Hamza, LB. I don't think Patrick's linked up with anyone just yet in terms of featured on shows. Martin is another one. I think there's a few shows I've missed with him to see how he's cooked, but I think he's on vacay or holiday, I should say, for you guys. But the cooking this week, I'm telling you, it was perfect because it was City versus Liverpool, not us cooking because of a result that another club did to Liverpool, right? It was after our game. It's different. International break extends the cooking. It's a slow cook, right? We ain't rushing this quick 15-minute prep, 30-minute meal. This is, we take our time with it, right? What did my man Troop say? Take your time with it. We're taking our time. It's international break. We cooking this. But now listen. Sam goes, goes, Professor Hamza is press resistant like Prime Busquets. The thing is, listen, you give Professor Hamza time. Like, certain players on the pitch, if they have too much time on the ball, it's a problem. You don't want KDB to have time on the ball. You don't want him to have time to make the decision. You don't want Mahrez, right? Prime Mahrez. You don't want him to have time. If he has time, lights out. Professor Hamza, he was primed and ready. I need to go back because I was working at the time of when I was listening to it, and I don't think I caught all of the jabs. I don't think I caught all of the hard tackles that he put in on that show. Sam, Mons ducked out of streams because he... Wait, what? That's not true. Sam, that can't be... Mons ducked out... Nah, I need evidence on this one. Which regular show that he normally attends did he go missing for? You need to let me know. Because I don't know that of Mons. I think Mons normally catches the heat. Vader, these salty pundits were talking about how Pep has ruined English football. The Premier League is boring. 115, the irony. The pundits are trash. It's a big reason, actually, part of why I also wanted to do my show, because I was hearing like Talk Sports and certain things like that, and I was like, what? Nah, I gotta say my 2 cents. And I was doing a few, like, I remember doing it was brief, but maybe I should bring it back, but I had respectfully disagree. So I was respectfully disagreeing with something that Talk Sports had. And I was like, you know what? I gotta do my own show. I gotta talk about these things that are wild out here. Act also goes, Vader, Big Steve cooked. Yes, he did. That I did catch. He cooked him. He cooked, and it was perfect. Not overcooked, not undercooked, just right. It was good. He said Khaldoon will deal with it. He's the GOAT. Khaldoon is gonna cook at the end of the season as well. Those meetings, those sit downs, yeah. Wait, he ducked never a foul? Oh wow. Did anyone represent instead? I got to know this. Did anyone represent instead of Mons for never a foul? Vader, do you think Liverpool is basically the 2009 Raptors? That hurts, man. You know I'm a Toronto fan. That hurts. Let me read this comment out fully. All right, let me read it out fully. Vader, do you think Liverpool is basically the 2019 Raptors? They can't win when everyone is healthy. I don't think the reason why the Raptors won was because of the rest of the NBA weren't healthy. I do think, and it hurt me at the time when DeRozan left, I do think that Kawhi, that superstar that every team needs, that someone you can lean on, I think he was that difference maker. I think Kawhi and when we want to talk about the confidence, it was just there. And yeah, we did hit an injured Golden State. But hey, that game against Philly, you're not going to tell me that we weren't the better team against that. Nah, and you're not going to tell me it was because of injury. I see the comments. Good looking out. Hit that like button, everybody. Thanks for being a part of the show. Bossman goes, Arsenal. Nah, what Arsenal? Arsenal are at the top right now. Not mad at that. A lot of season left. A lot of season. We got Christian in the building. How are Liverpool media? You're not seriously asking that. How are Liverpool are media darlings because one example just right now is, you know what, I'm going to give you several. You tell me which one you like. Liverpool weren't accused of ruining the league, of buying the title, of ruining football with how much they spent in the summer. Liverpool now have the acquisition of a Florian Wirtz who has not registered a consistent level of quality play, nor has he delivered a GA in the Prem, and he is not talked about the way he should be. Liverpool are treated like media darlings. They are not hammered. They are not crucified. They are not bombarded with those questions like they would have. Listen, you see the platinums? You see the platinums? I'm old enough to remember how Pogba was talked about, how Pepe at Arsenal was talked about, how Caicedo was talked about at Chelsea, how Jack Grealish was talked about at City. Florian is skating scot-free. He's chilling. Now it's brought up here and there, but it's not. The venom is not there. Media darlings, I'm telling you. There's a stigma around North England, especially. Okay, all right. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. A little bit. Now, who do I have out here? Let me see. You know what? Who's been consistent? I said I was going to do this actually every show. So for me to do this, I got to remember. I got to go into this. And I think I got to go here. Sorry, guys. Let me click on this. And listen, I forgot to do this. Thank you so very much. We've now hit 1,102 subs. Love. Thank you. Thank you so very much. We moving up there. I see a community note. I got to deal with that. That's interesting. But let me go to my content. Let me go here. And I should have done this before. I'm going to go in studio. And you know what? Who's been consistent in here? I want to be trusting in here. Sam. Now, Sam, I'm granting you moderator status. All right, Sam? Sam, I'm granting moderator status. Are you ready? Dre P in the building. I see you. Good looking out. Says, sorry, I'm late. Nah, it's all good. Sam, let me know in the chat if you accept the responsibility of moderator. You are blessed with moderator. Thank you for being in the chat. Thank you for spotting the troll. Deal with it when appropriate. Now, I want to point out we've got some fantastic content coming up in the future. I'm doing my best to continue to revise this. I know this is a show 115, and let me ask you. You know what? I'm gonna ask this, and I'm gonna make a poll. But let me ask this: do you guys believe, guys and girls? Do you guys believe that if a show was 15 minutes, 115, one question, 15 minutes, okay, and then the last 15 was interacting with the chat, that a show that was 30 minutes long is enough for you guys? All right, I'm gonna be doing the majority of my shows at around 4 p.m. UK time because that's 11 o'clock for me. I can manage it within a work day, and my work day is about to, getting back to work is about to happen. But let me know in the chat if we go from doing a 15 convo, 115, one question, 15 minutes, and then we also go to having, did I hold on here. Did I mess this up? Okay, I clicked on that. Oh. I grant someone else moderator? Ack is a moderator as well. Yeah, well deserved. I want to point out that with regards to show consistency, I'm going to do my best with the 115, one question, 50 minutes, and then you all interact for 50 minutes. I don't know, is a 30-minute show long enough? Do we get enough off our chests? Do we talk about the important things? Because again, if I'm going to be able to do this once a day, right? Or maybe 4 or 5 times a week, 4 or 5 times, I'm going to see. But if I'm able to do that, is us talking with the 115, 30 minutes enough? Let me know in the chat. Yes, no, does it work? Cool. Also, with the different styles of shows, you'll also know that we're going to have different things to talk about. So it's never going to be the same thing. Dre Pigo at Sam, say it louder so those at the back can hear. Football is played on the pitch. You can sign a 50 million player for whatever fee you want. Doesn't mean he's going to ball for you. Facts. And that's why it was also unfair the way they were talking about Grealish and how good or not good he was. But I think at the end of the day, this Civil War is revealing a lot. And it's revealing a lot because they are saying, and again, I'm no visionary, but I feel like what I was saying was a little ahead of its time. I was labeled a gaslighter, but the Civil War is clear that there's such a division amongst the Liverpool fans on how good Arne Slot is. Was he really about that hype? Was he really that guy that delivered them the Prem the way he did, being so great? I think we're gonna have our answer, and we are actually seeing the answer. Now, with regards to a few, thank you so very much on. Yeah, I mean, bless the 1K we hit. We're now hitting 1100. We'll continue to move. From there. Bossman goes 98. FIFA 98 is a classic. Classic. You know what? I had no problem. I enjoyed FIFA 2000. What? You know what? Next show on 115 to remind you guys. First name Vader, last name Games. I'm gonna show you the hard copies of the FIFAs that I have. This ain't no joke. All right, this isn't North American. He's just started watching football. I'm gonna bring out on how far back things go, even from a gaming standpoint. And before you game on something, you're gonna love the sport before that. So we'll get into it. But I want to thank each and every one of you in the chat. If you're new, hit that like button. If you want to continue to be part of the shows, be in the chat. Obviously, say hi. If you're busy, I get it. You're just listening. You're not able to interact and drop some comments. You're not able to be like, Vader, what you're talking about doesn't make sense. I don't agree with you. Or, Vader, great point. Let me add to it. If you want to do all that, it's cool. I'm going to do my best to be very consistent with you guys. I put it out there. I'm going to do my absolute best to be around 4 p.m. UK time, 11 a.m. Toronto time. And if you're out here in Toronto, maybe we'll run into each other buying a kit or whatever it happens to be. Blessed to each and every one of you. Enjoy this outro and catch me on the next one. All right. Here's an outro of some previous shows that I've done on 115 and some of the old shows. And you can see the evolution of the Vader look, right? Try my best to have some different looks, but also you can also see the difference in terms of what we were talking about show to show. Hope you enjoyed it. Love as always. Fox in the building. Dub with the stream. Ack, dub with the stream. Sam, dub with the stream. Thank you so very much. Catch me next time. Bless everyone.